All right, folks, how you doing? First of all, I just want to thank you for watching these videos. I know time is a valuable thing and you're spending it with me, so I appreciate that. Visit the website, trueresults303.com, link in the description box, social media, links to other videos that might be similar to this topic or any topic on any of the other videos. I'm starting to add those in. Coming at you today, though, with a video. I know we've all heard the term, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, right? So I was thinking about this a while back, and I wanted to make a video on it. And personally, you can teach an old dog new tricks. It just takes a lot of patience and time, right? Anything is possible. We've just got to be willing to get out of those negative habits, those negative patterns that we have set for ourselves. And just, of course, as the older we get, the more difficult it is to break those habits and patterns. So what it comes down to, I think, is just, they always say if, the more you learn, the more you realize you don't know anything, right? So that could be the same as maybe as we get older, we just feel like we know everything. We've got our pattern, our habits set down. These are great. These are great. So we stop learning. Maybe that's the thing. We stop learning. Because for me, when it came down to making this change, I had to restructure my entire life, no matter what anyone says. It wasn't coming home and watching TV for 2-3 hours a night, going over to my friends for 2-3 hours a night. It was I came home, I started learning how to cook because I didn't cook much, right? So I had to learn how to cook. I had to learn fitness exercises. I had to look up exercise routines. Becoming a trainer, I had to learn more on all these things, right? So I think one of our issues is just as we get older, we decide that we know everything and we don't want to explore other options. So first of all, that's what it comes down to. You've got to be willing to step out of that negative habit that you have and get going. Learn something. Start looking up healthier foods, substitutes for, any kind of condiment that you're eating or anything like that. We've got to be able to get out of that habit that we have instilled in our bodies and get out of it. So another thing could be I had a really good I had a good conversation about this with myself before I started. Now everything's just going away, but it's just going against the grain. Society's always going to tell you something. I don't care if you learned it when you were a kid. Now we're older. Get out of that pattern. It doesn't matter. New research is out there. Once again, it's going to be the hardest thing you've ever done. You've got to be patient. You've got to realize that some of these results aren't going to come right away. It's a long, hard process. It took me 5 years before I was ever able to do what I wanted to do. Right? I had this fitness website for almost a year before I ever decided to start making YouTube videos because it was something that I was scared to do. Right? Now I'm putting out one a day. I've even started adding the Christian and the Catholic videos, so I'm stepping outside of my comfort zone. That's another reason why I do this. For my clients that don't know where to go for fitness advice, nutrition advice, things like that, just go to my website. It's all right there, right? You can just look it up. So it's another way that I can help them on that journey of learning these new things and trying to become better and change the habits that they have. Like I said, it's just you have to realize that everything you're doing right now is probably wrong. We've got to set our pride aside and just realize, everything I'm doing is most likely wrong. Ask for help. You're going to have to spend your free time doing other stuff. It just takes patience. It just takes time, and you'll be able to get there. It's like my father right now is going through a time of bladder cancer. He just finally finished chemo and things like that. But when it comes down to it, he has some unhealthy habits that he hasn't kicked. Or he asked me, what can I do diet-wise? And I start telling him these things, add more vegetables. Sometimes it's eat leaner foods. It's veggie shakes, juicing, And there's always an excuse. Well, no, I don't like vegetables. I don't like that. I don't like fruit. I don't like this. Well, what do you expect to happen then? We've already realized, and it comes down to the point where, well, I have to live my life. That's something that he said as well. I have to live my life. And we've got to realize if you're 40, 50, 30, my buddy's the same way. Trust me, I'm about to be 33. I've lived plenty of life. I've partied plenty. My goddaughter's my goddaughter. I was hanging out with her one day, and I see her like looking around, looking at my hair. I got a bunch of gray hairs popping up, right? And she kind of looks around, and I was like, "What are you doing? Looking at my gray hairs?" And she says, "Well, I just thought there was something in your hair." She's like, "Why do you have gray hair? You're so young." I told her, "Well, yeah, because I've partied and beat my body up, really bad. Bad addictions, bad food choices, bad sleeping, bad everything. And it's starting to show. So you've just got to be willing to recognize that you're not right. We get older and we think everything is, we know everything. We're not going to change. And same with us as the younger generation. It's our job to step up and help. And we have to be patient because it's going to take a lot of time with this older generation. Because, of course, as we get older, we always think we know more. We're wiser. I had a buddy's grandma who always would say, I've learned more than you'll ever forget. Boy, that's what she said. She'd always say that to us. I've learned more than you'll ever forget. So, we just got to be willing to continue to learn. Continue to not be content with where you are right now. And realize that you're going to have some setbacks, but keep striving forward. You can change. You can help someone change. That's my goal right now, to help these people change. No matter how old you are, but you've got to be willing to learn these new things. How to read nutrition labels, water intake, measuring your food, better food options, better food, better choices out at restaurants. Being able to find your own voice that even though you're at a party and everyone's drinking, to say, no, I'm good. We've got to be willing to look to the future instead of right now. Stop looking to the future and see what's going on right now. What can you change right now? So like I said, I had some other stuff. I don't think I covered nearly what I needed to, what I wanted to. But just realize it's going to take patience. It's going to take time. You can do it. All right? So once again, thank you. Subscribe, share, like. Coming back at you.